Okay. Is there a time in your life when you feel like the Lord has protected you or looked over you? Or...
Yeah, I could think there's probably hundreds, but one that just kind of a classic and I know I've said it to a lot of people, but for posterity's sake, I remember back when I came off my mission, I was dating. I had actually, not dating, but I was going around to a lot of the church dances. I was in charge of the young adults in our stake, and then the regional representative made me in charge of our region, and then we were doing so good, we would have sometimes 300 or 400 young adults at the dances, and San Bernardino just wasn't working out, so he had me run the dances on the second Friday of the month in San Bernardino, and the fourth Friday of the month at Riverside. And so I was constantly booking bands for 2 dances a month. And so I was constantly looking around for good bands and that we could hire in order for all these dances. Well, and one of these times I met a gal who was in Claremont by the name of Karen. Now Karen was a really good dancer, and we just hit it off really well, and we had a young adult dance, and so I said, hey, would you like to go to Magic Mountain and dance? Because I had heard that Cool and the Gang and several others were performing over there. And so she agreed, and so the following Saturday night, or Friday night, I think it was Saturday night, I can't remember, doesn't matter, I was going to meet her over, I was going to pick her up, and we were going to go out to Magic Mountain and go on the rides, and then that night go to the dancing. And that was in the disco era, and I had my platform heels and bell-bottom pants and the whole 9 yards, and so anyway, I remember being just a little bit late, and she was afraid I was going to stand her up, but I didn't, and we both got in the car, and I said, would it be okay if we had a word of prayer? And she said yes. She said, I've never been on a date where a guy asked to say a word of prayer before we went. Well, I said, well, we just want safety, I don't want anything to happen. And we had a little word of prayer there in the car, and we took off and drove all the way to Magic Mountain Parkway. And I remember as I was getting ready to pull off the freeway up there in Visalia, I had a prompting. And the prompting said, don't go to Magic Mountain. And I went, no. But I was a missionary, and I had felt that prompting before, saying other things, and I said, no, you're kidding me. And this is our first date. I don't even know this girl hardly, and she's going to think I'm a flake. And I remember it came again, don't go to Magic Mountain. And finally I came up to the stoplight at the bottom of the freeway, and I go, oh, I can't believe this. And so I came in and I made the left-hand turn on the Magic Mountain Parkway, and I pulled through underneath the freeway and into a Chevron station. She says, do we need gas? I says, no. I said, Karen, I don't know how to tell you this, but for some reason, all of a sudden, I feel that we should not go to Magic Mountain. And bless her heart, she said, well, then let's not go. And so now I'm desperate. I had the whole thing planned. I knew I was going to do this or that, and and I'm sure we hit it off dancing at the church dances so well. I figured this would be a really cool experience. And she had never been to Magic Mountain, ever. So I'm really feeling like a flake. I remember we drove back to Burbank, and I found a place that was a movie theater, and we watched Piranha. Oh my gosh, what a terrible movie that was. And I felt just stupid. I said, man, she'll probably never go out with me again. But she did go out with me again. And the next, so now I come back into the house at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, whatever it was, and of course my parents are expecting me at midnight or whatever after the dance, or a little bit later, and they said, well, why are you home? And so I told my mother, well, we went to the dance, and for some reason I just didn't feel good about going on. I just felt the Spirit told me don't go there, and I don't know why, and I don't know. I'm frustrated, and I drove clean to Magic Mountain, and then he tells me not to go. Why couldn't he tell me when I was in Claremont, you know? In any case, I just felt really stupid, and I went to bed. And the next morning was church. I went up to priesthood, come home from priesthood, and my mom says, I think I know why you weren't supposed to be there. He said, there was a huge gang fight on the disco dance floor when Kool and the Gang was there, and I can't remember, but I know 2 people were killed, and like 4 people were stabbed. And we would have been right there. We've been right in the thick of it. And so there's, sometimes you get a prompting and you never know why you got the prompting. But I can guarantee you we would have been on the disco dance floor. I don't know whether we've been hurt or not, but nobody wants to be in that experience or have that experience. And the Lord definitely protected me that night.
That's cool.